Welcome to another day, another unboxing, and today we're doing the Alcatel 3V from Metro by T-Mobile. This is a very budgety phone, $200. So let's have a look. It's got some interesting specs and interesting features. Tells you a little more here, back in the back here. All right, so let's have a quick look, shall we? Dun, 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 dun. It is a big phone. That is the first immediate takeaway. It's a big 6.7-inch display. Like, wow, massive. Then we've got a divider here. SIM removal tool. No biggie. Here we've got some documentation and a SIM card. We've got Alcatel Quick Start Guide. Let's see here. It tells you a little bit about the device right here. I mean, it's the usual stuff. It's in multiple languages. All right, that's one thing. Then we've got AC adapter, which is USB Type A is my bet. Yeah, square in there. USB-A, US power adapter. I don't want to take it out. I'm not going to use it. No idea how many watts. I figure it's about 10 watts or something like that. And we've got a USB cable. And this is going to be micro is my bet. Let's have a look at the phone. Oh, no. It is USB Type-C. Yeah, that's exciting. So USB Type-C, not bad. Again, I'm not going to take this out, but it's USB Type-C to Type-A cable. And I think that's it, folks. There's nothing else in the box. So let's focus on the phone real quick. So there it is. It's got a little screen protector. You ready? Making no sound at all. How disappointing. I was expecting it to make some sound. In the back, we got another sticker. It shows you how to put a SIM card, micro SD. So it's got micro SD expansion. Also no sound. Sorry, guys. None of that exciting sound stuff. So now this, I can tell you right away, is a plastic back. It does that nice little shimmer. So we've got a camera system, which is dual cameras. We've got a flash, got a fingerprint reader, the Alcatel logo here, and then this massive 6.7-inch display in the front. Let's turn it on, shall we? So let me tell you a little bit about the specs. This is very similar to the ZTE Blade 10 I just unboxed. Now the ZTE Blade 10 is a smaller phone, 6.3-inch display, 1080p display. This, unfortunately, I don't know what they were thinking there, is a 720p display with pretty massive top and bottom bezels. As you know, the ZTE had a teardrop notch and just a little bit of a chin. This has serious chin and forehead, 720p, ouch. 6.7-inch display. Like, look at how big this thing is. Look at my hand. I got big, relatively big hands, and this thing is just massive. So that's the display. Alcatel is owned by TCL, which makes TVs and displays. So usually their displays are pretty good. Obviously, this needs to be set up, but I'm guessing this is going to be a half-decent display. So you've got an earpiece up here and an 8-megapixel front camera. It's a fixed focus, does 1080p 30 frames per second video. The rear camera system is a dual camera system, basically a depth sensor and a main sensor. 16 megapixel autofocus with a 5 megapixel fixed focus. LED flash also does 1080p 30 frames per second video. No specs on the f-stops that I could see here on any of the documentation that was shared with me, so we'll have to see. 4,000 milliamp hour battery, which is pretty decent size. What's powering this is a MediaTek Helio P22 versus a Helio P60 on the ZTE Blade 10. 3 gigs of RAM, 32 gigs of storage versus 64 gigs of storage on the Blade. So just keep that in mind. You get a bigger screen, you get a bigger battery, but you get a slightly lower processor and less built-in storage. Both have micro SD though. And the reason I'm comparing them is because, you know, if you're a budget shopper right now, you're going to be very price sensitive. You're probably looking at this phone because you're a Metro by T-Mobile customer, or maybe you're looking at this phone as a prepaid phone on T-Mobile, who knows? The bottom line is that at that point you're also cross-shopping with that Blade 10, and that Blade 10 is $179 and this is $200, so not sure if this is worthy of picking one over the other. But if you're price sensitive, I think the Blade 10 might be a better deal. This should be $179, I think, to be competitive. So let's walk you through the edges here really quickly. There is a volume rocker and power lock key here. There is a two speakers, or at least two speaker grills, maybe just one mono speaker and a primary microphone. USB Type-C, that's pretty awesome. Left hand side has the SIM micro SD tray here. And on top you have a headphone jack, a secondary mic, and a nice thing that the Blade 10 doesn't have, an infrared transmitter. So there you go. So yeah, it's all plastic. There's no metal here, no glass here. You know, the Blade 10 again is plastic as well, but I'm pretty sure that it just feels more premium. It feels like it could be glass and aluminum. This is very low end in terms of look and feel, especially with these bezels and the top and bottom chin. So yeah, I was expecting a little more from Alcatel. I really think this should be a 1080p display. I think this should be 179, and I think maybe a slightly better MediaTek processor like the P60 would be a welcome thing. Maybe the storage up to 64 gigs. For $200, I think that would actually work. But again, the Blade 10 undercuts this with better specs, I think, 179. So, you know, not to sound like a broken record, but if you're cross-shopping on a budget and you're on either T-Mobile prepaid or Metro by T-Mobile, you might want to consider, you know, this phone. But if you are considering this phone, also look at that ZTE Blade 10. So that's it, folks. I'm going to play with this for a bit. I do like the size. I think, you know, some people, personally, I'm not a big phone person, but I like the fact that they didn't go, you know, half-ass about it. It's like a 6.7-inch display with no excuses. Too bad it's 720p, but if you want the big screen, this is definitely the experience. This is the one. Please subscribe, like this video, tell your friends, comment in the comments below, click that little notification bell to get notified. And remember, this channel is a supplement to the podcast, mobiletechpodcast.com. There is also Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Pocket Casts, Overcast, Spotify. If you want to subscribe on any of those platforms, I'm on there too. And you know, share that with your friends and subscribe to the podcast. Stay tuned for more, and cheers, everybody.